Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a while, but here I am, and we're going to talk today about when plans go awry. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about what I've been up to. So if that sounds interesting, stick around, pull up a chair, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll get started here in a minute. For those who may not know who I am, or who may have just stumbled across this video, I am Yasmine Galenorn, New York Times, USA Today, and Publishers Weekly bestselling author. I was in traditional publishing for 20 years, and then in 2016 I went indie, and I've never really looked back. I've really enjoyed my time in indie, even though it's harder in some ways. It's more rewarding for me. So yeah, I have my experience under my belt, so to speak. And for those who do know me and would like a little bit of an update, just on the personal side, I'm still on the Mounjaro. I am doing well on it, and my blood sugar is definitely much better than it was. I'm starting to see a little weight loss, though that is not my primary focus, although I would like to get some of the weight off my joints a bit, but things are moving along better. I am definitely feeling better, and I expect it to continue throughout the year. So, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Sam is doing well. The kitties are doing well. Ellie is asleep over there. And otherwise than that, life moves on. So, yeah, it has been a year. And it's been a difficult year for a lot of people, and us included in many ways. My husband went through surgery early this year. He had a baclofen pump implanted, and it did not work the way it was supposed to for him. And so early this year, he had to get it removed. The kitties have been doing well, which is good. So, our little household is doing okay. I've had a number of things go awry on my march on my career, and going to talk a little about that today and what to do when plans don't work out the way you want them to. So, first, I had to close my online store. It was becoming a major headache in terms of the time put in versus the money I was making from it. Now, I may look for a different platform that isn't so labor intensive, and that also includes more features than Shopify had. It did not have some of the features I needed. So I will continue to look on that and we will see. But yeah, it was a sudden decision to close it because I realized my billing cycle was coming up again. And I do not want to pay for something that is not pulling its weight, other than the cats. And they pull their weight in love. So we closed the store, and all the pre-orders people have made through it have been refunded. And we'll see how that goes. I have big plans for my Patreon, and that involves shifting around some other plans. And so I'm working on that. So I have had something happen today that took me by surprise, was not a welcome surprise. And I'm not going to talk about it yet until I know which way the wind blows with it. If I can resolve it, then I will talk about it and how I resolved it. And if I can't, I will talk about it and how I plan to navigate that. So, what do you do when all the plans you made come tumbling down, or some of the plans you made come tumbling down? How do you approach that? Now, it differs based on your personal strengths, your skills, your outlook. But I want to talk about how I deal with changes in plans because I'm not a person who takes change easily. I mean, I make change as I need to, and I'm not so resistant to it that I won't change when it's necessary. But sometimes I wait too long. Sometimes I can't decide what to do. Sometimes I'm like a cat and I'm just like, I don't want to change. No, I don't want to do that. But I always realize that if you don't change when the wind blows a different direction, sometimes you're going to just be fighting it all the way. Sometimes you really need to find a different path to get where you want to go. So when you have plans go awry, the first thing I would say is one, do not panic. If you panic, you will be likely to make really poor decisions really quickly and make things worse. I know because I've done that before. I have been there before a number of times and it was not good. And I learned that you have to take a deep breath and step back and just wait the panic out. Find what you can. It's like find something to touch to give you grounding. Find something that you can hold on to and say, okay, this particular thing is not changing. This is sort of a lifeline. Find a person to talk to who is not going to encourage you to just change everything at once. I am in the past, actually, I have often been guilty of going to extremes and suddenly going, well, this broke, so I have to change everything. And that's not always true. You don't always have to change everything when some plan goes astray, but you have to be willing to look at change because you may need to change something. A lot of times when things are jerked out from under us, when the rug is pulled out from under us, we not just panic, but we can't see clearly. We are so surprised that it feels like a fight or flight situation. And you need to get out of that situation first. You need to get out of that fight or flight, must change everything. What the hell am I going to do? Emotion. And so go to someone you trust. And if you don't have anybody you trust, then go to a book or something that you love that calms you down when you read it, a movie that makes you breathe. Give yourself at least a few hours of breathing space before you suddenly go, well, okay, that broke, so I'm going to break everything trying to fix it. When you do get back in that space where you can see somewhat clearly, then you can go on to step two. Now, for step two, regroup and figure out where you are at. Suppose you lose your job. And of course, you panic at first. And then you manage to get calm again. And you stop and you go, okay, where am I at? Where are my finances? Where is my family at? What do I have in this moment? How long do I have to figure out what to do? In other words, you regroup, reconnoiter, basically sit there and go, all right, what am I playing with? What are the cards that I have left in my hand? And once you have done that, then you can go on to step three. Now, figuring out where you're at is a scary thing to do sometimes. I mean, if, like my example I used, if you lose your job, it's terrifying to sit there and go, all right, what do I have left? It's like, how long can I make it without a job? Can I get unemployment? It's like you have to look at all your resources first. What happened to me today is not, it is not going to significantly impact my life in horrendous ways, but it is something I have to work around, and it has to do with one of the vendors that I publish through. And if I can fix the situation, good. If I can't, then I have to find a workaround for it. So you look at all your not options, you look at all your resources and you figure out where you're at, where you're standing. And sometimes that will definitely help give us a better sense of self. It will make us feel like we're not panicking as much. It's like, for example, if we couldn't pay the house mortgage, it's terrifying to think about. But when I look at our house and what it's worth now and what we bought it for, if we sold this house, if we had to sell this house, we would not be hurting. I mean, it would be difficult. I would hate it because I love this house, but we would not be in the gutter. We would not be homeless. And houses around here sell like crazy. So we would have resources. So you look at all the things you have at hand and go, what do I have that can be a resource in case I need it? Third step, you look at what broke and you go, can I fix it? Now that you're calm, you examine what happened and you ask yourself, is there a way I can repair this? Was it working well enough that I really want to repair it? Can I go talk to my boss and ask for my job back? Can I fix the roof that caved in from a tree falling on it? Can I repair a friendship that went up in flames? What happened? Is it repairable? So you look at the situation that just happened to you and you determine whether or not there's a way you can fix it. If so, yay. If not, then you have to move on to step 4. And you also want to ask yourself, do I want to repair it? Is this something I needed in my life? Is this something that there may be a better option for? Because sometimes when things break in our lives, when things go askew or astray, when things go awry, that's the word I was looking for. Sometimes it's because there's something better out there. I am not one of those people who says everything happens for a reason and it's all good because it's all for the best. No, no, no. Sometimes the universe just rolls the dice and says, have fun. Here's a game of chance. But in that situation, in a situation where you are facing an uncertain future, when you thought you had things figured out, sometimes you may find that the alternatives are better than what you were doing in the first place. So you go to step 4. Step 4, thinking of options, thinking of other directions in which you might go. And you can do this while you are waiting to see if you can fix the initial problem. If you figured out, well, I might be able to fix it, but I can't do anything today, you can still sit there and go, what are my other options in case I can't repair this? What are my other options in case I might be missing out on something better? So start making lists of your other options. Don't do this alone. Go to trusted friends who you know support you and ask for their input. Ask them to brainstorm with you and sit there, make lists, right? Get it down on paper because sometimes, I guarantee you, when I think of ideas, sometimes if I don't write them down, they just cease to exist and vanish. And I'm like, I know I thought about something great the other day, but I can't remember what it was. So write them down, have a brainstorm session, sit there with your favorite food and a friend who's there to help you and just go over it and don't discount the wildest possibilities. Sometimes those far out ideas, sometimes those pipe dreams and far-fetched ideas actually can have some merit. And if they won't work the way they are, maybe you can adapt them so they will work. Pound out all the ideas you can. Don't discount anything, even if it seems like something you're not sure you want. there may be some element of it that you can use. And lastly, pick the best one or two options if you can't fix what happened in the first place or you don't want to fix it, and start from there. Make a list of what you need to implement it. Do you need further education? Do you need other resources? Is it something you can start from today, or is it something that will take some time to implement? And if it takes time to implement, what can you do in the meantime? Once you have that in hand, you have your plan for the future. You will be back on track, maybe on a different track, but you will not feel as helpless. And a lot of it, a lot of this, it really relies on you entering that calm space I talked about with step one so that you can see clearly. I don't know how many people I know, but it's a lot, including myself, who have made decisions while panicked in haste and lived to regret them. So there's a little bit about how to regroup when your plans go awry. And and I will let you know next time whether I was able to fix what happened to me today. And if not, I'll let you know what I plan on doing about it. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I have a number of pre-orders up, so go check them out. And over on my Patreon, we're growing into a nice community. I have a free tier that you can join and get all your updates through. And so I will talk to you next time. Take care. Have a great weekend. And I hope to be back, as I've said several times, on a more regular basis. Bye.